All right, guys. Hey, welcome back. Mike Caudill, brand ambassador for Go RVing, and we are here, of course, still at the 2023 RV Dealer Open House here in Elkhart, Indiana, and we have spent our morning on some smaller RVs. And if you've been following along with the videos, you've seen some of those little modern marvels, if you will, with some incredible functionality. Now we're going to the opposite end of the spectrum. And this is absolutely stunning. I'm with John at Woodland Park right now, and these are, how do you describe them?
Park model recreational vehicles.
So
yes.
We'll take you guys outside in a minute so you can see they run on axles and they are towable. And the way we describe this in the industry, and it's all about recreation, it's all about having a good time. And I was telling you before we came on that we love going to the Myrtle Beach Travel Park. You immediately knew where I was talking about. We spend a lot of time there as a family in the summers. And there are all these beautiful park models that line the entire facility. Every time my wife and I come in, we're like, next year, let's stay in a park model. Comfort, luxury, amenities. It just feels so good on the inside. Tell us about what you're doing that makes you so special. And first tell us your story, because we were talking 17 years doing this. You know this industry inside now.
Yeah. Well, park models are the big, like you say, the big end of the the RV industry. We're a product that gets delivered to site. On a Friday afternoon, like we talked earlier, when you leave your house, you got to hook up your camper, get home. Maybe by 10 o'clock in the evening, you're able to start a campfire. With this, it's always in the campground. It's always set up, and it's always ready to go. So with a park model RV, it's something that come Saturday, Sunday evening, you just go home. Or you could stay all week. Let's say you stay all week because you're close enough to your workplace. That's what a park model is designed to do. It's going to stay in the campground all the time. A lot of customers, they'll get into a seasonal campground with the travel trailer. You're 8.5 feet wide. You do have a lot of slide outs here and there with the new products that are out there. You don't usually have a loft like this one does. When you go through this one, you'll see that there's a ton of sleeping space up in that loft area. Sleeping, living, storage, however you want to term it, whatever you want to use that for, but it's extra space. You generally have, in a park model like this, you generally have enough room basically that it does have that feel of a second home. This is your vacation home, your home away from home, and that's what a park model is. Over the years, it's evolved into these products that you're seeing today where, a lot of the things, you'll see a lot of this stuff on your residential housing and things like that. You'll see a lot of these features on HGTV. Our designer, she gets a lot of her inspiration from that type of design that they do there. So you'll see a lot of that as you go through these units here. But that's kind of how this has situations evolved. Park models from the old days of having everything look like just a cabin of wood. This thing has turned into just a real contemporary second home, basically, for customers.
One thing that I always notice, and I think it's the journalist side of me, is that when I'm on the road traveling, and whether it's Myrtle Beach or some of the other destinations that we've gone to as a family, I'm always watching and seeing not just what RVs, whether it's a Class A or a park model like this, I'm always paying attention. And so I also pay attention to who's living, or not even living, traveling, being a part of the world of RVing. And if you see a park model, it's not just older folks looking to be close to the water, it's young families as well. And I love the juxtaposition of it, that new audiences, new consumers are finding park models to be so fun and different. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, my mom and dad, they don't travel as much as they used to. They're up there in age, and they really want to spend time with their grandkids and us on the road. What better way to do that than like at the Myrtle Beach Travel Park? We come in with our traditional RV, if you will, and then they have a park model edition that they can enjoy time with the family and the kids, and we're all in the same lot enjoying it. I think that's something that really sets them apart. I just want to pause for a second, and Tracy, just pan around. John, tell us about the interior. I mean, this is so high quality on the inside. I love the look and feel and what you've done. Walk us through and show us a little bit more.
Okay. Well, you're looking at a Woodland Park, and I don't want to go, I know we're trying to keep it sort of generic, but Woodland Park is the high end of the industry when it comes to the quality and fit and finish of the units. This this unit here will feature a 5-foot fireplace with the tile around it, with a mantle, a hardwood mantle that goes up here. We use, if you've been watching HGTV, you'll see that we're using actual shiplap on the accent wall here.
Yeah.
You go into the kitchen and we have solid surface countertops with integrated sinks. Again, very residential feel, so that you've got all of the same things that you have at your house. We've got a nice little hutch over here, which you've got the ability to store extra thing. One thing about park models and RVs in general, storage is a premium. So whenever you can, wherever you can find a place to put stuff, that's what we try to do. We try to design our units around that. This is a 1-bedroom unit. Like I said earlier, you've got a loft in this. So this kind of works out perfect for Grandma and Grandpa when they have the kids and grandkids coming up. They don't use extra square footage, part of their square footage, for an extra bedroom. They've got that up there. So when the kids aren't here, they've got all of this living space to be able to utilize for themselves. You've got a nice TV up here on the wall. You've got all the way going through, you've got residential appliances. This is actually set up with a prep for a washer and dryer here in the hallway. The bathrooms are very large, very well appointed. We've got items in this one like a lighted mirror. And again, the solid surface countertops just make it that much more durable.
I love all the lighting. Like, there's so much exposed lighting in here. And of course I have to play with the loft. I mean, that's what grown adult. Oh, there's so much room up here. Holy smokes, you got to peek around, Trace. Check this out. Like, this is where I come to hide. This is so cool up here. So, I mean, John, from the standpoint of having friends and family and guests, I mean, it feels like you can fit 20 people in this house.
You can fit quite a few. Now, one thing I was going to go and start getting into, which we hadn't got to this point yet.
I got too excited, I'm sorry.
You jumped up here a little quicker than me. This is a feature of our unit called the drop loft. So the basement, the floor of this unit drops down, sort of like what a lower level or a basement would be. So your bedroom is actually lower than your main floor. What that does is that gives you a lot more headroom. You got about an extra 10 inches of headroom in the rear loft versus what we have in the front loft. Front loft is a great sleeping area or a great area for little kids to be in. The back loft, we've actually had customers that have utilized this area for a nice little office space because you have enough room to get up. You got to hunch over when you walk around, but you got enough room to get up in here and actually sit in a chair and utilize it for, let's say, a desk or something like that.
I can fit. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I can stand up in here. It's no big deal. I mean, you got plenty of space in here. I love the design. I love that you actually carry the design from downstairs upstairs as well. And we always think about moms, right? Moms are always thinking about keeping their kids warm, keeping their kids cold. You got air conditioning right here to keep the room nice and cool for the little ones.
Exactly. This will be the hottest place in a trailer, obviously, because it's up so hot, so much higher. So we put an air conditioner in this. Now this is controllable by a remote control downstairs. So mom and dad say they don't want to come all the way up here to turn the air conditioner on. They hit the remote down there, so it's nice and cool when the kids and the grandkids get up here.
I love it. All right, let's make our way down, and we'll go to the back room and check it out. Functionality is just a premium, and there's so much of it in here. Obviously, this upper loft as well that is over the top of the television and family room area, and then we make our way down and head towards the back room. Check it out. So cool. I mean, this is just designed so well, right? Like, lots of storage on the sides, USB charging on each side. We talk about this a lot, being able to power all your devices. You have that in here. John? You pointed. I was like, he's got something. He's going to say it.
You just went right towards it. The USB ports. And over, we've got lighting underneath of our red cabinet, so you could be reading in bed before you go to sleep and reach over if you needed to and turn the lights off. Again, functionality is really what you want to do with one of these units. So you've got plenty of room for storage for your if you're going to be at the campground, how much hanging clothes do you have to take with you? Not much, but you got room to do that. You got plenty of drawer space in this bedroom. And what you're going to utilize it for the rest of the time, this is your sleeping spot.
Right.
Underneath of this bed, this will lift up. There's storage underneath of there because, again, storage is a premium in RVs and park models. So you're going to have that in this room as well. But this is the room where you're probably going to spend the least amount of time for your week or your weekend that you're going to be at the campground. So this is, we try to make it as utilized, be able to utilize as good as you can. But the main area in this park and this unit is going to be up in the front because that's where you're going to spend 90% of your time.
I love how you positioned it earlier, and you're talking about the fact that it's Friday, you know, you're getting off of work, you're going to head up to, you know, your cabin location, your lake location, your park location, if you will, your park destination, and that's what you get with this, is that you're getting there, you're getting to your favorite place, you're creating memories, and you're keeping it easy, and that's what this does. It's all about ease of use.
Absolutely.
What size on this? So do you have multiple sizes, or?
Usually, typically they're going to be about 12 feet wide.
Okay.
And probably anywhere from 32 to 36 feet, depending on the actual width of the box itself.
Okay.
The box itself has to be under 400 square feet to qualify as a recreational vehicle. There are rules we have to comply with, so that's going to be a big one. It has to be able to fit, that footprint has to be under 400 square feet. That is not inside, that's the outside. The outside.
Got it.
Shadow rule is what we call it. So whatever creates a shadow adds to the square footage.
Speaking of the outside, let's go take a look at the outside, because I want everyone that's watching today, you know, 30,000 followers on Facebook, consumers that are taking interest in all of what we're doing. Want to be able to show everybody what the outside of this looks like, so you can get a real grasp and a feel. You know, it's got that great feeling of for me, I keep going back to Myrtle Beach Travel Park because it's a place that we go frequently. You know, I could just see this there. It's so easy. You've got, you know, the ability to move it. How does that work for a consumer if they want one of these at a park? How do you go through that process, and how do you get it from point A to point B?
Okay, great question. First off, you're going to visit an RV dealer that handles park models. In this case, this one is actually going to a dealer that's out in Washington State. This unit that you're looking at has an incredible feature on it called LP sighting. Smart sighting is what it's called. And the availability of this to a consumer is they can look at the Sherwin-Williams website and pick out any one of those thousands of colors that they have on the website that they want to have their exterior done. One of our consumers over the years has gotten a unit. This is black siding. They got a unit like this with the accents of the wood around the that's actual. When you look at it and it's stained the way it is, that's an actual a wood look to this. So we fell in love with it when we seen it. We said we got to put that in one of the shows, and that's what we did with this one. But this is a feature that we offer that it's not something that, because of the cost of it's not something that a lot of consumers will order, but most of ours are the vinyl sided units. But we had to show this because it's just such a dynamite look on the outside. But our consumers are able to do that.
And is that one the same? Or is that different?
That's going to be a close copy to this, but it's a different floor plan. But that has the vinyl siding on it and the shingled roof, like what is our standard build would be.
And the one next to it?
That again is the LP siding.
Okay.
And that shows you the range of colors that you can get. That is going into a place that's
Can we go on that one?
Sure.
I want to go on that one.
Sure. That's going to a place that's
I see
going to
the
be near
secondary
water.
door, and I'm like, oh, there's a secondary door on that with a screen door. I think it would be fun just to walk through and show everybody just some of the other options as well. And then you said this is...
That's your vinyl siding.
Vinyl siding.
Residential vinyl siding. And again, this is going to be going, when you go in this, you'll see a really nice interior that's going to be suited for somebody that's going near a beach.
Okay, my wife would, this is the one she would like. It's,
right?
It's
you're
so
talking Myrtle Beach.
oh, this is like got the beach feel in
doesn't
it. Oh, this is so cool. The colors. You mentioned Sherwin-Williams a minute ago, paint maker. The color is awesome in here. I mean, just the look, the feel, the layout. This screams Caudill. Sorry, I get a little excited. I'm like, you got to come down and look at the bathroom, just the way it's designed with the colors. This is so unique. The way it's been laid out. And then you got a secondary door here.
That's correct.
So if you want to slide out that door, you got a secondary. Oh, you can leave it open too, so you got the screen, keep the air flowing. This has got the beach feel. This has got the beach vibe. How do you, because we get asked this a lot, you know, the number one question always on our social channels is cost. You told me what some of your starting costs were, and I was like, there's no way. That's amazing. To a consumer, what do your rough costs look like?
Something like this, sitting on a beach somewhere, This one's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120 to 140,000, 140,000. Just depends on options, depends on where you're going to put it at, depends on what else is included in it. A lot of times, they're putting, like what you talked about, they're putting decks on the outside. You've seen them where they've actually attached animal rooms to them and things like that. It really depends on how well you want to live in it when you've got it on your site.
I think it's awesome. John, thank you so much for, and I always like to be super transparent with everyone. I've grown up doing traditional RVing and walking over, and I'm so glad I came to spend a few minutes here because this has opened my eyes to other ways to really enjoy the recreational vehicle world, the recreational world. It's just funny because when I do go back to this summer when we spent a few days at the travel park, I remember my wife and I with a cup of coffee in the morning, we're just walking and we're looking at these going, man, this is so cool. And you've now been able to complete that bridge for me, understanding what these are all about. So thank you so much for telling me more about these. Gang, we've got a couple more videos for you here today. Wow, talk about an exciting day number 2, being able to bring you so much diversity in what the RV industry is all about here in Elkhart. So stay tuned. We're going to be back with you guys here in a little bit more from the 2023 Dealer RV Open House.